What's up, guys? Hey, sorry I missed a video yesterday. I was gonna do it, and I got a call from Wifey Boo, from Boo Boo, and had to be on the phone for a while during the normal video time, and then it was date night. So maybe that's the lesson of the day is sometimes it's okay if you miss a video for date night, particularly when we're in the middle of talking about part 2 of God directing my steps as it relates to relationships. I shared in my last video about just going from trying to date and being unsuccessful to feeling clearly from God this spiritual ambition to forego dating for the first 3 semesters of college. And going into sophomore year spring, I expected just kind of a thumbs up from God to like keep going with the dating fast. Like, so not a thumbs up to date, but like, hey, we're still not dating, right? And the best way I could explain it is like I just felt like he didn't respond. So it's not like he told me you will start dating spring of sophomore year, but I was like, I prayed a couple times like, hey, this is like a for sure no, right? And just felt silence. I'm like, okay, well, I guess it's not impossible. But at that point, there was still no one that I was thinking about asking on a date. I wasn't like just waiting for my dating fast to end so that I could date so-and-so, or so that I could date, period. I was thinking I would keep going with my dating fast. So when it ended, it was a little of a surprise to me to know that, okay, I guess I'm allowed to date. And that was kind of one of several things that happened that ended with I'm asking out Megan Gary. But I'll share a couple of those other things because Megan, I knew of Megan. We were in the same friend group, same class year, so we've been going to the same small group for 3 semesters already. And by spring sophomore year, we were co-leading that small group along with some other co-leaders. So I was pretty familiar with her, and I knew 100% certain that I was not going to date her. I knew that I had no interest in dating her for one simple reason. She's taller than me. She's was a solid 3/4 of an inch taller than me. And I just had a very short list of desires for a potential spouse. Number 1, loves God with all her heart, soul, mind, and strength. And then I would phrase it like this: the bonus would be if she was shorter than me. I tried to say it like that because I thought if I put it on the list, then God's gonna like spite me for trying to think I'm so prideful that I can just have a list of my pick. So I'm just gonna say it's not on the list. It's just a bonus. It would just be nice. Just an extra cherry on top. The second thing, the only other thing, if you're so gracious and willing, Lord, would be, hey, she could be just the same height or shorter. That'd be great. Megan was not that, and so seriously, I never ever thought about dating her. Gotta drop off the old package. And a couple other reasons why I thought that I wouldn't date her, and then maybe we'll go into part 3 of how I felt like the Lord led me to date her, I guess. I mean, talk about like ruined the ending, like you already knew that was gonna happen, right? But I also thought that I I would date a brunette. That's just always what I thought. Because I thought that I preferred brunettes. I also, it's so weird to talk like this, like, because, you know, it's just not my current stage of life anymore. To be thinking about who I might date, you know, it's like, I know who I'm dating now, and I'm a happy camper. I also, so my mom, super strong-willed, like very go-getter, wears everybody's pants, just total wear the pants type of gal, and pretty outspoken, and definitely very ambitious. And so I didn't grow up thinking like, man, I just want to marry someone just like my mom, you know. But I didn't think I want to date someone that's nothing like my mom, you know. Like, to me, like, your mom, especially not having, like, I didn't have sisters that I grew up with. I do have a sister, but that 7-year age gap proved challenging to overcome in terms of our actual upbringing stage of life. So all that to say, like, my mom set the standard for me of like what women are like. And so I'm sure there are some, so anyways, that's just like subconsciously what you end up kind of like imagining yourself living with, because that's the personality that you've lived with, you know. And so anyways, if you know Megan, you know that she's not super strong-willed, she's not super ambitious, she's not super similar to my mom in many ways at all. And so that's just another reason why subconsciously I never thought about dating her. I wasn't consciously looking like, who is like my mom? You know, like, that was definitely not a thought. But I do think I probably valued some type of ladder climbing, you know, whether it's a social ladder or just a professional pursuit, or organizations on campus, or where you come from, or, you know, I don't know, just kind of like people that thought they were trying to be somebody in some way, even if it's probably in a super humble and gracious way. Like, that's but just generally a high capacity person. That's probably what I would have imagined myself dating. And so again, I knew Megan's just not the person I'm supposed to date. I'm trying to think if there are any other reasons as to why I felt like I knew that, but probably not. Maybe the last one would be, again, not conscious at the time. I wasn't thinking about this as it related to who I might date, but I did think that I would live my whole life debt-free, because my parents paid for my school, and I was like, wow, I'm just gonna save up to buy cash for my first home, and it's gonna be awesome, and I'll never have to be in debt. You know, it's just like, it was just hitting me like, you don't have to have debt. Like, wow, this is amazing. And so again, I wasn't thinking like, who's debt free so that I can marry someone and be financially ahead. But I did certainly imagine myself being debt free my whole life, and by implication, I guess you could deduce that. And so Megan had a lot of student loan debt that became our student loan debt, and there's just another reason why, at least subconsciously, I wasn't thinking about dating her. The only conscious reason was like, she's taller than me, and I don't like her like that. You know, she's just a nice person. Don't think of her that way. We got to go into the coffee shop and see if we can find Beckham's car and water bottle that he forgot this morning, or I guess we forgot. So anyways, we'll cap it off there. But I guess the testimony here is that God protected my heart from Megan, because I wasn't like pursuing her or thinking that I would. So that, check it out, guys. Booyah. We got the water bottle. We got the car. Didn't think that I would, and so I didn't spend any of my interactions with her, again, corrupted or wondering if I would date her. And I mentioned this in my last video, that just generally speaking, I didn't interact with anyone that way. But like, at least to a certain little extent, like I might have been thinking, like, I wonder if I would one day like this person. You know, like, I didn't have a list of people that I super liked. I wasn't trying to, you know, court anyone subtly. But I was at least aware enough of the probability that I would eventually date someone that I knew that I wouldn't date Megan. And so, you know, there is at least some dynamic in me that was evaluating the potential of whether I would date someone one day. And I just think it's cool that, as it relates to Megan, like, if there was anyone that I really legit, like, didn't do that with, like, I didn't, like, not even 1% hoping that there's some type of attraction or mutual interest, like, it would have been her, you know? And maybe not like exclusively her. It's not like I had a list or a ranking of all these people and she was at the bottom. But, you know, she was with the majority of people that I interacted with, which is, they're taller than me, they're on the no way list. You know, like, and there were a couple of extra factors, like I mentioned with Megan, that made it seem even more likely that, you know, just like, it just wasn't even a consideration. I wasn't convincing myself to not be interested in Megan or anything like that. I just wasn't, never thought that I would be. And we'll leave it at that. For part 2 of God directing my steps is just this protection of my heart as it relates to Megan specifically. But part 3, we'll go into why I felt like he led me to her, and I will I'll pick that up in the next video. That's all I got for y'all today. Hope you're having fun on this Saturday. Life is worship, God is love. Talk to y'all soon.